I guess that every cloud has a silver lining because it's funny, I just did like this video and like it totally didn't take, but anyways, it's Mike here over in Taiwan. This is my next chance at trying to like make some type of a vlog or whatever. I think that I'm probably better off just talking instead of trying to make some type of a script. I've never really been one for rules all the time, and I guess that's why I've made like some certain like choices or whatever, which is kind of ironic because sometimes I feel like I want to live in Japan, but like Japan is like the king of rules. Like, you know, everything has to have a rule about something, and I mean, I don't really like that, but at the same time, I'm really fascinated with their culture. Anyways, as you guys know that I'm living in Taiwan, I could probably tell you like all these crazy stories about like stuff like up and down about you know, living in Taiwan as a foreigner and being here. And I mean, I'd say probably for the most part, any type of situation that I kind of go to right now, I think I'm okay with that, right? But before, I would just be like, okay, this is very difficult for me, very kind of like a hands-off approach. When I got here, I couldn't even like order food or anything. I couldn't even read any Chinese characters. I actually had like some American guy who was, he's a cool dude, his name is Mike too, and he actually showed me a little bit of the ropes of how to like live here and whatnot. And you know, I could tell that he was like kind of really trying, kind of really to be helpful. I mean, I know that he probably wouldn't stick around, but he was, you know, he did help me for a while. All right, yeah, let's continue with that. Anyway, so yeah, I've been drinking a lot of water. Like this is kind of like a weird habit. I would go to like the convenience store, and then they have like this thing for like hot water, and the hot water is actually supposed to be for if you have any like instant coffee or like some instant noodles or something like that. But like I'll just like put it into like my thermos and I'll just like go drink it. And I think that it's probably going to be a little bit better for me in the long run. I haven't had any coffee for like a week. And for the most part, like I'd say for most people that like I just kind of like blindly ask like, hey, do you drink coffee or whatnot? And they're just like, yeah. And I don't know what it is, guys. I just feel like I don't want to be dependent or addicted to like things, even if it's just like small things like, okay, I drink coffee every morning. You know, it's like kind of like, what if you don't have that? And I don't know if this is going to translate really well, but I've been watching lots of videos about this thing called Stoicism, which is like, there's like this guy, Marcus Aurelius, and like I said, I don't know if this is going to translate properly, but he wrote all of these kind of, there's like this thing called the diary or the journal of Marcus Aurelius, and it's like it became like some type of book. But the point is that there's things about like controlling your thoughts, controlling your emotions, thinking about don't be so dependent on the outcome. You know, work on yourself, and I think these themes are just like kind of really resonating with me, and they're very useful. Because these days we're always like trying to say like somebody's out there, somebody's trying to control me, somebody's you know, doing this thing, and it's like it's hurting my feelings or something like that. We had this like thing like from a long time ago in North America, this saying, it was like sticks and stones can break my bones, but names will never hurt me. And I think that, you know, in 2026, I think we kind of really forgot about that. I think that we just keep thinking that there's all these people saying these things and doing these things, and people let me down, and it's kind of like emotionally we've like really regressed. And there's a lot of people out there in all these different types of apps, and I won't really name them, but they'll just keep saying about how like, yeah, my life is so down, and that's kind of the new normal, that, you know, nobody cares about me and blah blah blah. But you know, as soon as you kind of like wake up and realize that like nobody is coming to like actually save you, like you're some type of damsel in distress, then it'll probably save you a lot of time and a lot of worry and a lot of energy. I think that probably when I came to that reasoning, or when I came to that you know, realization, like I guess kind of later in my life or whatever, that it just made me feel a little bit more free. Like now it's kind of like, yeah, you can do whatever you want, you know. You know, say if you're okay, I'm just gonna use Canada as an example because I know that, right? But you know, say if you're like you're 40 years old, you're not married, and you know, you lose your job, and you think about, okay, well, yeah, my future kind of like is garbage right now, or whatever it is, right? But you know, think about it. Now you're free to do whatever you want. Like, just, you know, go work somewhere, like whatever job, say if it's like some type of general labor job, you know, go on your try to go to your mom or your dad's house or your friend and just play, hey, look, can I crash here for 3 months, save up some money, and then just go to Cambodia or go to like Thailand or something. You don't have any things that are like really holding you back. And I think there was like Oprah Winfrey or something. She was like saying something about like stop comparing yourself to other people. That's another thing that the internet is kind of a double-edged sword, right? Because first of all, you're comparing yourself to the best of the best of the best. You have like 500 followers like me, and then you're comparing yourself to somebody who has like 16 million followers who's being treated like royalty over in mainland China. Like that's crap, dude. You can't because then it's like it hurts your self-esteem. And that's another thing too, is that you look at these people and you think like these people are like your friends, right? 6'2", works in finance, speaks 5 different languages, or like supermodel who's like mixed Chinese, Indian, and Russian, and it's like, no, these are not normal people. These are like kind of the exception to the rule. And you don't have to necessarily deal with being normal, and you don't have to be saying that you're normal, right? But at the end of the day, you have to accept yourself for who you are. Otherwise, it's going to, I don't want to say it's going to blow up in your face, but you're just going to keep thinking, why am I not this, or why am I not that, right? Like, why are my muscles not bigger, and why am I not getting taller? Why is it that I can't speak better English, or why is it that my hair is turning gray? But who cares, right? That's just do it. As long as you're people like just keep complaining about things that are happening to them, but it's like you have like some semblance of health. You're not over the hill. You're not 67 years old, and even if you're 67 years old, if you want to like start getting that college degree, then go ahead. You still have years ahead of you. So I think that I don't want to sound like really hokey and say people need to stop thinking about the cloudiness and the grayness and all this stuff in their life, but at the same time, like, maybe that's what you should stop doing. Get out of bed and just start walking somewhere. I remember when I got here, crazy story, right? Like I just like started like walking. I just had like so much time, and I like didn't even check the GPS or anything. I just kept walking. And it turns out that I went to this kind of like weird place that goes uphill, and the guys like were in like this truck, and they're like, hey, like, where are you going, right? Like, do you want us to help you out? And they see, this is kind of the helpfulness of Taiwan, right? These guys, they helped me in their truck, and they got me over to like the bus stop, and then I had like some of the best like seafood in one of these niche local restaurants, and I guess it turned out okay, right? Sometimes you just stumble upon things, but at the same time, I don't want to be like one of these stumbling people that just gets things by luck. I want to like have some type of a plan. I want to, attract all of the positivity and the things that I don't want to say belong to me, but I think you guys kind of get the picture. You just can't have like life just come to you and expect everything to flow to you, because it just won't. So I guess that's probably my 2 cents for today, guys, that you can't let things you have to actively try to pursue some things, but if they don't go out and they don't come your way the way that you want, you can't really get mad about them. So hopefully that's useful for you. This is Mike in Taiwan. I'll see you guys later. Bye.